Hello everyone, this is the Last Beluga here. So, as you can tell, I am back on the startup screen for Caveman to Cosmos, and that's probably because A, got a new computer, B, got a new headset, as you can probably hear both, but C, I lost the data during the transfer. So that was around 4 hours gone. I'm very upset about that, but you know, there's not so much that I can do about it at this point other than start again, based off of the wonderful comments you guys have gave me begging for more. So, absolutely, I said I will give you more of Caveman to Cosmos. I'm glad that you guys like watching it, so there's no issue with me doing it again. I set the other video to private as of now just because I don't want there to be confusion with two part ones. So if you guys want that one back up, leave a comment saying that you want to back up because I'm probably going to explain it. I explained it a lot better in the other one than I did here. So, well, I will be doing here. I haven't done it yet. So, yeah, I'm thinking that it's going to be just a quick run through to try and get back into it for most of you, but for new people who are watching in, welcome. This is Caveman to Cosmos version 32. 33 is on its way, I'm pretty sure. There was a lot of changes that have been made to this, but the idea of Caveman to Cosmos is exactly as it sounds. You go from the caveman era to beyond the stars. Well, that's the objective, at least, if you can make it that far. You'll see when we get to the tech tree that it's enormous. The entire game is different. It's very in-depth, very difficult, but very rewarding. It will take a long time to get up to anything of note, like to an ancient era or to the medieval era. By the time that you hit the Industrial Revolution, you feel like you went through an entire civilization by yourself. So that's the idea behind it. You don't need anything else other than Caveman to Cosmos. It encompasses so many other mods, and we will go over all of them when they become either necessary or when I feel like it. So, let's go. Single player. And custom game, as always, like I normally do. So, C2C continents. I kind of like that one. Go continents, standard resources, cylindrical, or toroidal. Well, I mean, that's how the real world works. So we're going to be starting in prehistoric, which is what I was mentioning before. Take off time victory, take off mastery, take off cultural, because those kind of, and sorry, religious. You can keep on cultural, I guess. We'll go through those. That'll be easier. Alright, so what are we? Chieftain or war? Well, I mean, they put me on, whatever, we'll go warlord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. Should I play against 5 AI or 4? Go 4 AI, and if you guys really want, I'll do another one later, which I'm going to play against more. I'm a little bit rusty as of now. I haven't played in a little while, so I kind of want to make sure that everything's working here. What's going on here? No revolutions. Yes, revolutions. No barbarians. That one I kind of don't want. That one's a little annoying. Start as that. Usable mountains. Advanced diplomacy. Unlimited wonders. Culturally linked starts. That's important. Advanced economy. Overload long areas. Huh. So that's cool. I kind of want that one. Realistic corporations. United Nations. I mean, we're gonna have it anyways. Advanced espionage, modern corporations, advanced nukes. No explicit limits or penalties from civic choices for founding any number of cities. No, kind of want that one. No negative traits. Kind of defeat the purpose of a lot of this game. I think there's a couple more things that should go over here. So yeah, so most of you can probably see right now, like as I'm sitting here trying to look at this, there's a lot of really cool different ones, like barbarians, if you leave them for long enough, will become their own civs, that you could use mountains, and all these new things, which I will definitely get to, very soon. So I'm going to be playing as the same person that I was last time, if I can find him again, for Canada, because, you know, that's my home. I can't even think of who it was now. Trudeau? Could be. Trudeau's pretty good. I think he's diplomatic, though, in this game. Scientific, progressive, and temperate. Is it temperate, or...? Roosevelt? Roosevelt's actually pretty good, if I were to play as America. Lenin, Roosevelt, if somebody corrected me last time when I was, Hadrian will also be an interesting one. If you guys know, there's a lot of, as you guys can see, there's a lot of new ones. Chief Sleepy Eyes. Augustus. I think I went past him again, didn't I? Can't even think of who it is now. This is me knowing my Canadian history. Like, can't even think of what the names of these people. Couple pleasures. Like, I'm trying to sit here and think I should have probably had this planned out a little bit before of who I was going to play as. Pearson. Creative Scientific. I kind of want, like, Industrious. Like, I'm always a big one for industrialization, which is kind of why Organized Industrious and Populous is a really good one for the way that I like to play. Because I like to have a lot of production in my cities. I'm more about production than anything else, because I believe that if you could pump something out quick enough, you could beat anybody. Which has held true for a long time for me. Kenzie King. There you go. Organized, Industrious, Populous. He's exactly like the other one. So we're going to leave everybody else on random. They're all playing on Noble. We're all on different teams. Let's get it on. Look at that. That was almost embarrassing. I mean, I like to think that I know some history, but I can't even think of actual Canadian prime ministers when put on the spot. I'm like sitting there scrolling up and down. So yeah, so they changed a lot of the background stuff, and it's really cool how all the tech's working, so I'll kind of show off all that again. I'll show off the civics again when they become needed. But you'll be able to get the gist of it by looking at it, how different the game is. Yes, yeah, set up the interface. It takes a while to load this game. It takes actually a very long time to start it up, if any of you were to get it. Don't think that it crashed. It didn't. It's just loading, which is huge. It's like a 1.3 gigabyte download or something like that, and it has to load all of it. Or, no, I think it's a little bit more than that. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, I can't think of playing Civilization without it now. Because it's just, it encompasses everything that you'd want to do in a game. Micromanaging everything from the in-depth inflation of the economy to diplomacy on a much more exact scale. So, and then obviously, of course, there's new eras and new buildings and new text to play with, and it changes it so that you don't run into the same routine that you always do in Civilization IV, where I know what I want to get before I start the game. I could lay everything out, and here there's so many texts that I don't know what I want until I look at them, and then I say, what does my city need? You know, you try and plan in advance, but there's not so much planning that you can do. Oh, there you go. So it's revised, so it's running with all these different things on it. I think meteorology is on it, which is good. Meteorology is fun. Alrighty. I'm a Canadian tribe, so let's get it on. This mod is awesome. Oh, it is. So, if any of you can recognize this music, I'll be impressed. It's pretty well known. So I'll click on religious time first. So as you can see, you have a bunch of different religions: Mormonism, you know, Shinto, wow, Druidic traditions, Mesopotamian, Scientology, Canaanism. So there's a lot of new ones, which is a lot of fun to play with. Tech tree, hopefully, please don't crash the game. Sometimes it has a tendency when you click on it that it gets really worried. So the colors are going to represent eras. This is all prehistoric, right here, up until sedentary lifestyle. So right now we're not even in a city. We are just kind of in a small gathering of people. And we will progress up to the point where we could get agriculture. So the game normally for Civilization IV Beyond the Sword would start, or regular Civilization IV would start here. So then we go through, and you can see already folk dancing, like, what is this? Ideograms, naval warfare. So all this is really different. This leads right here, up until Ancient, I believe. I believe that this is now the Ancient Era, leading up to Medieval. So you can tell, you know, makes sense. Feudalism, civil service, fire brigades, you know, alchemy, leading up to Renaissance, leading up to the Industrial Revolution with steam power, photography, leading up to modern, which is here, modern physics and globalization, leading up to transient, which is when you start getting to very cool stuff. Like, I don't even know what a lot of this stuff is. They changed a lot of it. Rapid prototyping, and then leading up to, like, Ascended, which is like Homo Superior is the final one, which is really cool. You know, I really want to be able to show off this stuff because I don't normally get to play it unless I, like, specifically make it so that the only way to win is scientific. And then you get BAM. Like, because the SS thrusters and SS engine are all the way down here, and I can't even... Dogneous Euclidean propulsion. Wow, I can't even pronounce that. So, I could actually... It'd be really funny if you would just, like, click on Analyze Strings and then just let the game sort out what you need, because what it would do is it would go through, like, a path, and then it'd say, oh, I need this, go back there, and then go through all the path, and, oh, I need this again, and you go back. Which I have tried to play like that to give extra challenge without having control to it, and you can't. So, final one which I'll show off is going to be the civics, before we get started in this game, because I want to get some playing done. I want to keep these to around 20 minutes. So again, already you're like, what is this? The way that your government runs, all the way from chiefdom, totalitarianism, democracy, the type of rule which you have, mind control, grid control. Grid, that's like Big Brother. Bureaucracy, meritocracy, which is an excellent one, which I would always try and run. Except it's local rebelliousness, which kind of sucks. Power, single party, which would be kind of cool. Separation of powers, defined right. So the way that they get their power, which is cool. The society which you live in, corporate nations, Marxist, nationalist, egalitarian. The type of economy which we have, regulated. You know, the type of military, is it drafting, cloning, unmanned, voluntary, we're pacifist. The type of religion which we're running, if we're atheist, secular, intolerant. Intolerant's a really cool one now, which makes it so that, look at that, the Great Firewall, which is kind of cool. The idea is that with intolerant, you could actually root out using inquisitors to, like, you know, like Spanish Inquisition type of inquisitors to root out other religions. Prophets, which make it faster to get state religion. Type of welfare which we have, superhuman. See, I'd like to be able to show these off, other than just like charity and such. Garbage, off-planet dumping, see, and waste energy, waste importation or exportation. Immigration, which is cool, skilled workers only. It'd be, you know, -1 trade route, but, you know, more production and less of whatever that symbol is, which I can't think of right now. Education, time travel education, I think that'd be a good way to work. Your knowledge passes through generations through the internet, kind of. Online education, through propaganda. You know, this is kind of cool. Oral tradition. Type of languages which you have. Universal translators, interpreters. And the type of agriculture which we're running. Type of currency which we're running. Digital currency, like, you know, paper money. It took a long time to actually get to paper money. Then again, the Chinese kind of did it before printing press, so I disagree with that. Because they had to, because they actually ran out of gold for a really long time in the 1600s, and then they actually ran out of silver again during when the Spanish found the silver mines in South America. So, yeah, depending on who you play as, I think that paper money should be earlier. Unless banknote is kind of the way that they're looking at it. Regardless. And the type of labor which we have. So, obviously there's a lot to explore, there's a lot to do. So, without further ado, my band of Homo sapiens is here. Some production here. I mean, obviously, one thing which I don't try and do in this game is try and mess around as much as I do in the other one. Keeping it by a river is important, especially during the early part of the game. Like, you could think the way that normal people would have lived during that time, which is, you know, you need the water in order to survive. So, with that, we will found our first city of Ottawa. Sometimes it has this really weird tendency to not let me do that. So a stone thrower or a brute? See, already I'm like, you know, plus 25 city defense. Okay, so we'll get you to defend the city. We have a tribal guardian, which is cool. You start off with a guard, which basically looks after the city. To make sure that you can't automatically be killed at the beginning of the game, which is important. So you end the first turn. already, so we're going to get nomadic lifestyle. Where are all the animals? This would like buy like a tundra or something. Auto has become unhealthy just off the bat.
I must down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way.
I forgot
the
that they speak.
like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over.
Okay, so yeah, they speak in this, which can be sometimes very annoying. I'm going to take that back. It's always very annoying. You know, most of the time, I could do this myself. I guess the barbarians haven't come out to play yet. Barbarian animals. I have no idea where they are. Oh, I bet you they'll come. Come on now. Load. There we go. Obviously, there's a lot processing. That's why it's slow. Waiting for other civilizations. Loading, 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 loading. Mount Sana has been discovered in a faraway land. Well, that's already annoying. I guess they're really doing a lot in the other one. I mean, normally it's not this bad.
Language is not only the vehicle of thought, it is a great and efficient instrument in thinking.
Huh. Well, there you go. I don't really want, I mean, a wanderer's kind of good. They're reconnaissance type people, which isn't bad to get. Yes, we want to get a native language. Yes, we want to get gathering. So we have a stone thrower, which will be another line of defense that we have here. Our other stone thrower is running out to what looks to be like a permafrost. Oh, nice. We are just like Canada, all the way down. So, I'm gonna have to see about this optimization type of thing, because it looks a little stuttery when loading. That's a little bit better. I guess there's just a lot of civilizations which it has to load, even though there's only 4 in its early game. I dread to see what's going to happen later on. I'll have to see about optimizing the game a little bit better to run for the next part, so that we're not sitting here waiting for every single turn, because this is, trust me, it's just as annoying for me as it is for you. Oh, there they are. I was worried that I didn't put them on.
Chaff and grain together,
oh my god.
The gentlest of hands will take and sift it.
Skype is going off in my ear.
And, with a breath of kindness, blow the rest away.
There we are. So, with starting on scavenging, I'm sorry that this is a short part in terms of gameplay, but, ooh, corn. I'm sorry that this is a short part in terms of gameplay, but I'm going to actually cut it off here. Just to make sure that I can work on some optimization for this, get the first part out for you guys, and the second part will be probably up later today. My time might be in the middle of the night for wherever you guys are, but thank you for watching. Thank you for showing interest in this. It means a lot to me, and I hope that this is just as entertaining as it is to you guys, as it is for me to play. So enjoy. This has been The Last Beluga. Out.